Sar.
Sar.
I realized last time we didn't say our name. Welcome to the Grease.
The Grease.
I want to know, what is the grease? That sounds better, huh? What's the grease, girl?
I am Princess Capella. I'm joined today by Joshita
And also last time.
and every conceivable future episode.
Hola.
Hola. We are starting off this week wanting to see a bit more specifically from Melinda Verga and CC Superstar. And you mentioned last week that you were extremely excited to see Kitten
Yes.
in the QVC challenge.
Yes, I'm ready to see what she can pull out just because the vibes that I'm getting are that she is going to do well in this sort of thing.
And off the bat, I'm thinking Kitten and Melinda are going to do really well with the improv challenge, and I'm also excited to see if Aurora is going to bring in that theater background that she mentioned.
Also, I was curious to see how Denim is going to do it in this situation because she's done so well so far. If she can pull off an acting challenge or something like that, like, she'll be hard to beat.
In this episode, we get an inside scoop from the girlfriend experience, who is out here pissing on toilet seats.
Yes, she is. Somebody is going to get hurt. One of my favorite lines of the show was right at the beginning with Denim. She said, "It's a moo day in the workroom."
Melinda also starts off the episode doing a sickening little cartwheel.
She done popped off.
Venus won 5K in the last episode. If you were about to win 5K right now, what do you think you'd spend it on?
I would buy a new water softener and put the rest in to my credit card.
We are old. I think I'd probably either fix my car or sell the car I have and get a new old shitty car.
If we're being frivolous, let's go to Paris.
It's a date. Let's go.
Just like a lunch date.
Just a lunch date to Paris to get a baguette. Can we talk about the girlfriend experience as Top in the workroom? She has a lot of faith in the support that Top is giving her.
Every bit of faith in the fabric. I was really digging and laughing at Brooke's lime-colored Crocs.
Oh, interesting. I actually have a note here that says, Crocs are heinous. I don't care who is wearing them.
I loved the whole, she was wearing this, denim, two-piece look with the midriff going.
Yes.
And then I was like, what is up with the freaking lime Crocs? I don't know about it.
She said she stole them from production.
I didn't think that would be something that Brooke would choose, but it's an interesting choice.
Me neither. I mean, she kind of pulls them off, but I'm of the opinion that I have to be a hater for Crocs and I can never wear them because I think if I tried them on, I'd never take them off and then I'd have to, just admit that I was wrong and I'm never going to do that.
I don't apologize because I don't make mistakes.
Exactly. Except the Lisa Frank Crocs. Those...
Yeah, right. You're going to have Crocs and you're going to be one of the people that put those pins in them.
Well, never.
Melinda mentions after the QVC challenge is introduced that she was watching the shopping channel in the hotel at 3 a.m. and that is such a mood.
How lucky was that? From the moment she said that, I was
Yes.
like, this is a sign. She is probably going to do really well.
This always happens to me in hotels because, and this is not a lie, if we're staying at a hotel I've never been to before, I will call ahead and ask if they have Food Network. Because I don't have
Food
cable.
Network.
I have to have Food Network. That's my vacation. I need to watch a little TV when I go to bed. But the programming ends at 10, 11 o'clock at night. So I will wake up, at some point in the middle of the night and there will be infomercials on. And I love that. So I thought that was so cute when she mentioned that she woke up randomly and couldn't sleep and there was infomercials on. I'm like, yes, that is absolutely the hotel vibe.
They introduce the challenge. They give the products that they're going to have to try and pitch. I love the live ones because it really does pick out the people who are clever and quick and most likely going to go far.
It can be a bit of a chaotic nightmare, which I also love. Extremely bad acting challenges, if I'm being honest. This kind of harkens back to the challenge in, was it season 9? Was that Tasha Velour and
Shea Coulee.
Do you like that? Mm-hmm.
No. Sasha.
That reminded me of that. Again, it was kind of a shopping network
Yeah.
challenge. We have the shade blockers, the tit tips, and the party poncho and the Fierce Flats. Which of these products are you buying?
I'm probably gonna buy the Fierce Flats because I don't know how to duck walk, and I would love to learn how to duck walk.
It would be great if you could just put on some shoes and then you could duck walk.
We can pretend I'm duck walking right now. You can't see my...
I don't know why anyone would ever want to wear anything that was like reflective sunglasses that covered half their face. I think I would actually also kind of want the Fierce Flats because I broke my foot last year. I can't walk in heels. Even before that, if I'm honest, I'll wear them to every wedding I go to.
You're just gonna be tap dancing. Right before they do the challenge, Denim kind of mentions she's like worried about doing a comedy challenge, and then Cece also kind of mentions the same thing. So they go into it and they're already like a little bit in their heads over it. I'm like, uh-oh, what's gonna happen?
I was shocked that when the girls were picking the groups, Melinda and Kitty were left at the end. What are they thinking?
I think that was so stupid. I get maybe Melinda a little bit, but even still, like, she's an older queen who's probably got more of that, the Rolodex of hate, like Bianca would say.
Absolutely.
And who would be able to pull stuff out like that. So I didn't get it either. And I also felt really bad for them. I was like, oh, they're so nice. Like, why would they, like, literally run away?
I did also make a note about Denim saying she's scared of this challenge is kind of telling. What can you do well quickly?
Let me ask you a very fair question. What do you do successfully? Quickly.
I was also kind of shocked to hear Cece say that she doesn't have any type of theater background because she gives that very, whenever I see a kind of punk rock underground queen, I assume they come from being a theater kid. They've probably been in a musical or two, like at least in high school. Or like, come on, you weren't like a backstage manager or something at least?
Mm-hmm. And they also mentioned that she's like kind of a big entity in Montreal, like in terms of the drag world. So I'm like, that should be normal for you, I would feel like at this point. And then another part that kind of like surprised me was like Luna sort of like sidelining Amy Yonsei and before the challenge even started, being like, she's uncomfortable. We need to make sure that she doesn't have a lot of lines.
At one point, Amy even says that you don't need to baby me. I don't feel uncomfortable. And I thought it was great that she stood up for herself. Amy mentioned in her aside that working with kids can be a bit of a challenge.
She was really good this episode. I feel like she did surprise me because she was a little bit more, Amy I'm speaking about, she was a little bit more reserved last episode, I think. And this episode, I think she came out of her shell. I think, like you said, it was really awesome that she was, comfortable enough to be like, listen, don't treat me like I'm a baby. Like, and I really, really enjoyed that kind of like shift for her this episode. I really liked her a lot.
In the workroom, Kitten and Melinda were already killing it on their little couch, just kind of scaring all the other girlies, which I absolutely live for.
Yes, they're already intimidating them.
Nira is also serving some cunty-licious nails. And I only mention this because I have like the almost exact same nail color on, and I painted my nails right before watching that episode.
Yes, okay.
We're twinning.
Twinning moment.
Nira is shading her team a little bit already before getting into the challenge. If you're on a shitty team, that's almost like your time to shine. Just own it.
That is so true. That's such a good way to look at it. Just like be the person that shines, that outshines everybody and win. Screw it.
There's so many typos in my notes, I can't even read what's going on.
Dude, I know mine are everywhere.
Group 1, we had the shade blockers with Denim, Kiki Ko, and Cece Superstar. Denim looked gorgeous. I loved her look in the QV She challenge.
Yes, she looked the part. She had like the short little haircut with the blazer, and she was like aggressive and southern, and I liked it a lot.
Cece had that really high kind of beehive moment that honestly looked hysterical when she was doing her little like head bobbing. And I thought the accent started off cute with Cece, but then it sort of unraveled as time went on.
Yeah, it got really annoying, and they all forgot their lines after about 30 seconds.
Kiki did make a savage joke saying it's giving jeggings to Denim, and if that had landed, that would have been so good.
Kiki literally just kind of moans and groans for the whole thing, and the entire The entirety of it gave me the moment in season 12 where those three girls were trying to all talk slowly at the same exact time. Oh my god. It made my brain boil.
I think Girlfriend Experience said it best about the first group.
It's a little bit cringe, I'm not gonna lie.
It was really cringe. And they like had 20 seconds left when they said that they were done. So then Cece just kind of like went off in a very robust way. If anything Denim wanted, it was just to evaporate away from the set.
I can't imagine how that feels to just know you're bombing in front of every girl in the competition and the host.
It was bad to watch.
It was tough. I love cringe though, so I loved it. Group 2 is the Fierce Flats with Kitten Caboodle and Melinda Verga.
They are immediately in sync with each other. It was so good and so organic. I loved this.
Melinda looks pretty soft here as well. She warmed up her makeup a little bit like we mentioned last week. I think she looks really good. She looks the part of that put together QVC host.
Yeah, she's got the pants. She looks professional. I think you're still right from last week, though, about her needing some blush and maybe a little bit more carving, but she did so well.
It's still a little bit gray, but it's getting better.
It's kind of dusty, but I didn't even care because she was so funny and it was just so organic and the chemistry between the two of them was great. And they were funny. They were really funny.
Kitten was giving me Kathy Mitchell vibes. I don't know if you are obsessed with infomercials like me, but she looks like Kathy Mitchell. Yes!
When she spun her wig around, it looks just like her.
Even the cadence of Kitten's voice
It was QVC, you know?
Linda's duck walk was incredible.
It was like she was being possessed to duck walk. She could not force herself to stop. Venus, Aurora, and the Girlfriend Experience are the next group to go. They started off pretty strong, actually, in my opinion, for the first good 15 to 30 seconds.
With the tip tits.
The tip titties.
Unironically, it would have been so funny, and I thought this is where it was going, if the Girlfriend Experience had been like Vanna White and just silent the whole time and just like doing whatever weird trailer trash acting she was doing. Like, it genuinely did start off really well.
Honestly, she might have been better off if she was silent the whole time, because after the first little bit, she completely forgot her lines and she just like, it turned off like she's like, well, I've got nothing else to replace those lines with, so you're up, sis.
Even when she lost her lines at first, and I do think that Tracy mentions this, it was still kind of funny. That first time that she broke, you were like, oh, it's like I'm watching SNL, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny. They're laughing. I should be laughing. And then they never kind of roped it back in, which was unfortunate. Venus and Aurora did a great job of getting through the rest of the material.
The combination of Venus and Aurora was enough to be like, okay, safe. They're not that bad. Like, it was acceptable.
Yeah, passable.
And Venus, in my opinion, she really carried most of it on her own, whereas Aurora kind of took a backseat to that.
I think Aurora should have chosen a different lip color. Just a pet peeve. Nobody's going to be wearing gray lipstick on QVC.
No, it's not going to happen that way.
Not in 2023, it's not. Group 4 is the Party Poncho with Luna Dubois, Near Enough, and Amy Yonsei Chanel.
The Party Poncho with a very ambiguous use. They never really get to what it's for, which was kind of hilarious to me because it was like clearly they all just like were completely in their brains and not aware of what was going on.
It was such a missed opportunity to not do the I gotta trick up my sleeve.
Dude,
you know?
I can't believe they didn't do anything with Reveliana at all. Luna starts the whole thing immediately off with like shady music in the background because she's just fabulous 100 times. And then on top of that, she was like very retracted into her shell.
If you have a smaller personality, like Luna is a little bit like deadpan regal, right? You could have worked that. You could have worked the angle like, oh, I'm I've had so much filler, my face doesn't move to the point where my voice doesn't move. You know, you could have, if you're gonna say fabulous 100 times, make it every other word, like really go over the top. Take those things that are your weaknesses and make them your strengths. Like, that's what you have to do in improv. I don't think she was as bad as she was edited to be. I would give all of my money to see the unedited footage for stuff like this. I would absolutely love it. Nero was just okay. Again, wrong lipstick, but that's just me.
I guess Nero was probably the better of the group, maybe? I mean, she seems like she kind of like led this group. I'll give her that, but other than that, it still wasn't very good.
Amy was kind of fun to watch. At some point, she screams, "My pussy is so wet."
Yeah.
That was funny.
I was like, where
Just
did that
because I
come
didn't know
from?
what was going on.
Yeah, I know. That was the same thing. My favorite line in this whole thing was Venus, when she was watching them and critiquing. She said, Luna's literally just standing there, just not doing improv. They completely forget about the reveal until like the last literally 5 seconds. And then they like half-heartedly try to like show it off, and it ends. And it was really awkward.
We can have a moment of silence for that reveal. That was sad. On the topic of infomercials, and as a Kathy Mitchell fan, do you have a favorite infomercial?
So the Magic Bullet.
Yes.
I was obsessed
Oh my
with the
God.
Magic Bullet, and I literally would watch
Truly.
it every time it was on, and I like knew the characters' names and everything in that stupid little commercial skit. And I eventually got a Magic Bullet, and I was like, their fucking spokesperson.
I was also obsessed with the Magic Bullet. I probably shouldn't say my. I know somebody who has used the Magic Bullet to grind peyote cactus. Ah! Oh my god. Any infomercial with Kathy Mitchell, we stand Kathy Mitchell in this household.
She had like the turbo cooker, and she like did that forever, and I don't really know. There was another thing she did too.
She did like dump meals. I think she got famous for making like
Dump cake! Then we go back to the workroom where Venus is like kind of calling out Cece and Denim and Kiki's group, being like, you guys were terrible.
I love that this is Cece's kind of second drag delusion moment. After judging last time, they're like, they loved my hair, they loved my boobs. Mira goes, that was a lie.
Cece was like, we all pulled it out. And then Venus is just like, girl, let's be real. Oh, I really liked the, when Kitten brought up like 80s drag in Calgary.
Yes.
That was a really cool moment, especially with like between her and the girlfriend experience / like Denim. I thought it was such a good example of how people who are older, or maybe just people who aren't up on all of the lingo and everything, how they should take it, how they should react to that.
I do love that we got a great story about drag in the 80s. I definitely encourage people to get off of the internet and support local drag and actually see what people are like in these spaces, because you might really be surprised just how accepting people are.
And just how many different kinds of drag you can find too, even with local drag.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a pretty relatively small area, and one of our most famous queens here is a drag king. I also thought it was hysterical that we had a moment after the 80s story that's like, what is queer history in Canada? And there was just crickets.
I know. And the best part is that fucking Amy Yonsei Chanel is like, well, listen, bitches, because I just got my Canadian citizenship and I know everything. So sit down. And she just is like, well, here's some herstory, and she's amazing. I loved her so much more this episode. It was so endearing, especially with like her talking about being an immigrant and coming here. It was just it was very heartwarming.
This week's guest judge, we have the impeccable winner, queen crowned, Raja O'Hara.
Oh my god. I really liked Brad's suit with that like ascot thing and those little pinched shoulders. It was very cute.
And then Brooklyn's look was amazing.
I loved it. She had that like Veronica Lake like swept bangs and then the covered. Oh, I loved it. It was really good.
The runway theme is gemstones.
Gemstones, yes. This one's been used a few times, but I mean, it's one that you can reuse.
I think the last time we saw gemstones might have been on UK with season 2. So we have these in alphabetical order this time, starting with Amy Beyonce Chanel.
I like this. However, the shape to me is off. I like that it's so detailed. I like that she still is showing like the polish that she's always had, but I'm not sure. I'm not sold on the shape.
It kind of comes down a little bit below the knee, which can kind of shorten you. I don't understand the makeup on the forehead. I would love to pick her brain a little bit about that. I'm sure there's a reason for it. I do think it's cute that she is kind of serving Heart of the Ocean and she's wearing the Heart of the Ocean. She must be a Titanic fan or there's something there, but I think it is a great sapphire look.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the forehead.
I don't know, maybe it's just fashion. Next up, we have Aurora Matrix serving Jade.
Serving Jade, got it. So I like the hair. I feel like the gloves and the body suit are the same color and then her face is a different color. The dress coat thing, it's a little plain.
A little more detail on the dress would have been nice. I don't know if she's referencing maybe a specific figure or a specific goddess and that's why it's the way it is. I also, initially I was like, why is the face giving Alphaba and the rest of it is giving Jade? But I'm wondering if maybe the stage lights, the makeup might be a little, I try and give a little bit of grace there.
Next up, we've got Denim, who I loved this week. It was so like unsettling and high fashion. The teeth sold it for me. I don't know what gemstone this was.
This is Moonstone. They do show a little snippet of a drawing of this makeup at the very least backstage. I saw that before the runway and was like, ooh, who is that? That's gonna be great. If this was a US season, Michelle would be like, where's your shape? Where's your body?
Whatever, dude. I think this is towing that line that is like so like hard to do, where it's like perfectly drag and perfectly androgynous at the same time. Like there need to be more queens that do looks like this. It's amazing.
Next up, we have Kiki Ko bringing Emerald City Yellow Brick Road realness.
Yes, mama. She's serving salad at home tonight.
At first I was like, oh, pineapple.
I didn't get pineapple. I did get like in front of my salad, but
oh my god.
I do like it. It's just like, I don't know, it's leafy, it's tropical. I think the hair, a lot of the times when the queens do that highly like with all that polish and greased up look.
Greased.
Sometimes it looks really bad, but I think this looks good. I think she looks put together. The mug, always good where it's supposed to be. I think this is very good, very passable.
I don't know that it gives me gemstone. It's emerald colored, it's Emerald City. I don't get that kind of angular, when I see gemstone in my head, I see kind of facets.
I think she relied just a little bit too much on the sparkle that the outfit had. It just didn't give off gemstone. Next up, we have Kitten Caboodle, who comes out looking like a gay super shiro. She's giving like kind of She-Ra type of like regality.
Yes.
She should have done something a little bit more on the bottom. Yeah, I get that it's supposed to be like this V-shaped bikini moment thong. The cape wasn't enough to cover up for the fact that there's not something on the bottom.
Yeah, I love the headpiece. I like the kind of She-Ra Scarlet Witch vibe that it's giving. I kind of agree about the bottom half. I think a boot or some sort of like armor piece on the bottom would be interesting to bring that whole theme together. I do want to mention that Brad says, oh, this is something we haven't seen before. The cape is the exact same fabric that she wore in last week's runway and in the Shimmering Showgirl look. I'm just saying.
Just saying, Brad.
Bradley.
What you said is 100% correct. She needs a big, tall boot.
Lose the cape, get a boot and a sword.
Sis, yeah, come on, kill him.
Next up, we have Luna Dubois serving Topaz.
Yeah, I did not get gemstone at all. We've seen it before, but it's still well done. The mug is great. It's all, every detail is there, which if you're going to do something we've seen before, that's what you have to serve. And I think she did serve that.
I love that she went a different direction. I wish she just would have said it was Tiger's Eye and put like 2 big gemstones on her eyes or something. I wish there had been one more step in the thought process, because I genuinely, this is impeccable. It's gorgeous. Like, she was camping the hell out of it too. It was so cute.
Next up, we have Melinda Verga, who honestly really redeemed herself with this look, in my opinion. It's a lot better than a lot of her past ones. Again, she's looking gray.
The bodice is beautiful with the detailing, the stars all over the cape. I also like that it's not a full cape and it's kind of attached like to the arm. I think that's really interesting. I would steal that. Blue lipstick is not easy to pull off. If you're going to wear blue lipstick, you really have to warm up the rest of your face. You can't just put on blue lipstick and ice white highlighter, because you will look like a corpse.
You will look very shiny.
Oh, her gemstone was cubic zirconia.
Oh my gosh, I missed that.
Next is Near Enough.
Mira surprised me with this look. I just feel like she's doing so many different looks. Like, we haven't seen her with black hair before, so she's like, I'm bringing that. On top of the fact, the hair looks beautiful. It's snatched up. She's doing the high pony, but it doesn't look like it did with Cece last week. It looks natural. And she is snatched for the gods. Her waist is in. Her silhouette looks good. This fits perfectly. She's maybe not necessarily giving gemstone, but she's giving shiny, sparkly somethings.
I love the detailing in this look, that it almost looks like the pattern on a bandana.
Oh my god, you're right.
It's really well thought out. Beautiful look. I love a snatched cunty ponytail.
I am so blown away that you just mentioned the handkerchief thing, because I did not realize that. And it literally looks just like it.
I have a hanky right here.
Oh my gosh. That's so cool.
It's beautiful, whoever made that.
Next, we have CC Superstar, who comes out in this kind of like all purple monochromatic sort of royal queen look.
I'm gonna say something controversial.
Okay.
I love this look. I think it's gaggy she didn't wear fucking shoes.
I think it's gaggy too. But in a bad way.
Like, this hair that she's wearing, it's trendy now to wear the hair that's got tinsel in it. I think it looks really good for something like this. A lot of the details are good. It could have been pushed further, but I think it's great. I love her scepter.
She's still a great drag artist. Like, I think her makeup
Absolutely.
looks great every time. She has her own personal style that she clearly sticks to. And like you say, everything on here is not bad. Like, everything fits well. Her silhouette is right on there, but you can't come out there with literally not a single shoe. Like, not even like a flat. She had little uncut dicks on the end of her feet.
I need to know. Please, somebody out there, God, answer my prayers and tell me what happened. There has to be a story there. There has to be a reason that they're not telling me.
There's something going on. We'll have to find out somewhere online.
The girlfriend experience serving Pearl.
I think this is probably one of the better interpretations of the gemstone. I think what she's wearing, even though the only part that you can see an actual pearl is the chain stuff over her face. But yeah. I 100% think that chest bodice sort of like piece is giving that like pearlescent sheen that's super recognizable. And also, I fucking love this outfit.
It's kind of Birth of Venus with all the chiffon flowy details. I love the clamshell boobies in that pearlescent material. I mean, and the way that it's sculpted too, with the musculature on the chest piece is, insane, gorgeous. I will say I'm over the wet hair.
Yes. The wet hair that is not actually wet hair needs to go. You need to be like Carmen Farala if you're going to go with a wet hair look. This is drying out, and this is after you ran around in the rain being sexy, and now you're done and you're laying in bed dripping.
Yeah, the photo shoot's done. You're on the couch. Your hair is dried and crinkly and nasty.
Yeah, put it back in the water, bitch. Then finally, we have Venus, whose look I absolutely loved this week for more than one reason. She comes out in a complete cat suit. So she's covered in diamonds and it's just like a black cat suit. And she even has like her whole head covered as well. But the thing that she's lifting up over her head turned into like...
It pulls down to kind of a stole.
Where did this girl come from? She is too much. She's too much. And then she pulls the hat off and she's painted and she looks amazing. And I'm like, girl, come through.
Brad says that she's serving Balenciaga. Bitch is serving Ornacia.
She is.
I cannot.
She's serving Ornacia when she had a body, bitch.
This is Ornacia realness.
I think already she's just going to be the runway queen of the season.
No notes.
No notes. Check.
In the top, we have Kitten, Melinda, and Venus.
Fair. Kitten and Melinda were very obvious. And then Venus kind of carried her group. So all very fair. We also get Kiki, Denim, Near Enough, Amy Yance Chanel, and Aurora, who are called Safe. I think judging was very fair and accurate this week.
Brooklyn does say you're lucky there are only 3 bottom spots. So it seems like they were a little less than impressed with the performance in the challenge. In the bottom is Cece, the Girlfriend Experience, and Luna Dubois. And we have the Golden Beaver is announced the twist of the season, that the winner gets to save one of the bottom 3 girls from lip syncing.
The gag. People had talked about doing something like this for so long online and stuff. So I'm so happy that they're actually just like doing something new. I think it'll be really fun. There's not too many repercussions from it, but I still think it'll add drama and it'll be really, really fun. Backstage,
Luna, Cece, and the Girlfriend Experience get to plead their case to Kit and Caboodle on why they should be saved. Cece kind of broke my heart saying that it wasn't fair to save her.
It sucks. Like I said before, they have mentioned, and it's Denim has even mentioned, she mentions here that, you know, Cece is a big name in Montreal. She's really close with her and she's like really helped her a lot. So it's got to be a really tough situation to come into Drag Race where it's like, okay, this is where it fucking counts. And then they're really not eating you up.
Luna tells a little bit about her background and why she is a bit reserved.
But the thing with her is she's very articulate about everything. I like the way that she puts everything across and like her energy is very chill. And she was super open about, she's like, yeah, like I have cunty eyebrows. I've got resting bitch face. Like I get that. I come off like that sometimes.
I also think that we put a lot of pressure on the queens to have big over-the-top personalities, when it's not necessarily the only thing that matters. In an improv challenge, it probably is kind of important to be able to come out of your shell.
Yeah.
But I do think when the judges tell the girls like, oh, we need you to be more excited, we need you to be more this, like when they said that to Dakota on UK last season, I was like, just let them be who they are rather than trying to make them not genuine.
Yeah, I think so too, especially with queens like Willow Pill, who are like the introverted queen that doesn't like people, and people reacted to that in such a violent way. They loved her so much. So I think I agree with you on that front there.
There's definitely room for queens like that.
The Girlfriend Experience also kind of breaks down. She's like, I'm going to be lip syncing. Like, she's just like kind of spiraling. And I felt bad for her, but it's like, what are you going to do? Someone's got to lip sync. Someone's got to go home.
Luckily, the Girlfriend Experience is saved by Kitten Caboodle. Now, in this situation, you win the Golden Beaver. Are you taking the easy route and going with judges' critiques, or are you taking out your biggest competition? I would take
both into consideration, but like I would have to think about the repercussions if I did send somebody home who didn't really deserve it. However, if I could get away with it without getting eaten up by the girls, send somebody home that is tougher competition.
You put Luna and Girlfriend Experience in the bottom. First of all, that's going to be an incredible lip sync. And then one of these really strong look queens is going home.
And then what happens when you have another acting challenge, which you know is going to come up, with CC is not going to do well. So Girlfriend was probably the right choice to save, at least in my opinion, too.
I agree. And the lip sync song between Luna Dubois and CC Superstar is I'm With You by Avril Lavigne, bitch.
Oh
this
my God. This song is so good. I was so happy they did it.
I'm like almost crying watching this. When I saw it the first time, I was like, oh my God. My first real concert I went to was Avril Lavigne when I was in 6th grade. I wore like little fingerless gloves. I had a tie on. Oh my God. It was iconic.
That's adorable. Oh my God. With these types of songs, when they're not upbeat songs where you can just like it's interesting to see what the queens will do, because I think it takes a more talented queen to be able to take like a slower tempo song and make it entertaining.
Think about Taste doing Memory.
Yeah, exactly. CC was more of like the showing rather than telling, and being very like literal with her dancing. Whereas Luna was like, bitch, I might be dressed up as a cat right now, but I'm going to give you face and emotion, and I'm going to do that for you.
She did have shoes on for the lip sync.
She did?
So this week we say au revoir to CC Superstar. I'm heartbroken. I really, really liked her.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the more seasons that come out, even like the newer like international seasons, like drag has become so established that even these first outs are great queens.
All right. We're going to start off with our Best Hair Award. Who are you giving it to this week?
That best hair is always so difficult for me, because everybody has like, drag is evolving and hair has become so great. But this week, I think I'm going to give it to Near Enough. I loved her black hair on the runway, and especially after seeing the same type of hairstyle on CC and not liking it, this to me is so fucking good.
It's funny that you say that, because I am also giving best hair to Near Enough. One thing you know about me is I love a cunty snatched high pony. Love it. And I love the bumper bang. Cute, coiffed. Very good.
She's got some grease up in there, mama.
She greased the hair, bitch. Coiffed.
For best mug, who do you think it is?
Even though they were in the bottom, I am going to give my best mug to Luna Dubois. I think we've seen the cat makeup done so much, but I mean, it was flawless. The eyeshadow was beautiful. The detailing was just gorgeous. And overall, Luna has a just sickening mug.
I ended up going for this week. I went with Kiki Cup. Her runway, her face was painted. Like, it was so smooth. It was so beautiful. It complemented everything on her outfit perfectly. Like, bitch was snatched. I had to give it to her this week.
Best dressed of the episode? Who are you going with?
I am gonna go with Denim. I think the runway was my absolute favorite. This is something that could have been... This could work on Dragula with a little bit more filth. I think this was so good. Like I said, it has that amazing... She has that amazing ability to toe that line of drag and gender and androgyny, and this was amazing.
I'm going to give my best dress to Venus. It was so well thought out, and I've never really seen anything like it except for when I saw Ornacia for the first time. On to next week's episode, girl groups. Who is going to win, and who do we think is going home?
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm thinking the Girlfriend Experience and the Venus are going to be, in my opinions, the one to watch in the girl group episode, because they're going to look so cunty. You know they're going to.
I think Kikiko might be able to snatch depending on the rest of her group, but I think that we might see Kiki really turn it, because I do think she gives a good performance. Who do we think is not going to do great?
I could see Denim maybe potentially fumbling and it not having it be like her thing. Maybe Nira.
She's a dancer though.
Dude, nobody's gonna fuck up. It's gonna be so good. I'm so excited.
Canada's history with girl group challenges from season 1, rent-free in my mind.
Season 1 girl groups was so good.
Next week looks like it's going to be great, and we end off the episode with a homophobic ad for the RuPaul Drag Race mobile game that Brooklyn recorded in a public restroom. We might just be two gays with some microphones in their bedrooms, but she can afford some sound design. We do need to do an outro.
Oh yeah, what did we do last time?
Last time we just said a bunch of weird shit at the end. The grease, gooped up, snappy in
Oh
the grease.
yeah, gooped up and slopped up in my grease, bitch.
Who up slapping in the grease right now, bitch?
I'm just over here soaking and frying in my grease.
I'm just frying up in the grease right now. What's that, a goat?
Yeah, it's a screaming goat. We were greasy and dripping.
Crispy.
Crispy.
Eat my good old cornhole.
Eat my good old cornhole.